Then we're going to begin with the soles of our feet together, holding onto our toes and letting our knees relax out to the side. And I'm going to read a little beautiful Rumi quote. And actually it's a lovely quote for love and audacity. Okay, and letting you settle into a comfortable place. Do not feel lonely. The entire universe is inside you. Stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. Set your life on fire and seek those who fan your flames. The perfect bridge between audacity and love, right there. Okay, so with the knees bouncing a little bit out to the side, take a nice inhale as you sit up. And then as you exhale, just fold forwards, chin towards chest, into an easy place. And there's no agenda with this pose, there's just space to soften and surrender a little bit. And then inhale as you come back up again. And we'll take the knees towards one another. Keep the knees together, have the feet apart. Drop your hands behind your back. And then just windscreen wiper your knees from side to side a little bit. And letting the spine start to wake up. And then come back to sitting cross-legged, hands on knees. And we'll just do the forward and backward movement, inhaling as the heart moves forward and you lift your gaze. Exhaling as the heart drops back and the chin drops towards the chest. I'm going to read that quote to you again as we do this. Do not feel lonely. The entire universe is inside you. Stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. Set your life on fire and seek those who fan your flames. And that's written by Rumi. Okay, maybe going into some circles with the heart. And changing direction. And then doing with your arms, maybe some circles, maybe just stretching the arms up. Doing whatever feels good to you today with your arms as you take up some space. And then let's take right hand away on the floor, reach the left arm up. A little side stretch. Inhale as you look up to the ceiling, and then exhale coming down either side of the right thigh, the right knee. And inhale as you come up. Let's reach both hands up nice and tall. Interlink fingers, press the palms high. Get that lovely central column stretched. And then left hand comes down, right arm overhead. Inhale as you look up to the ceiling, and exhale as you come down either side of the left thigh. And inhale as you come back up. And let's come onto our knees. So we're facing the lengthways on the mat. Bring your hands down to the floor. And then you can either keep your feet on the floor here. We're going to take little knees down versions of Chaturanga. So the hands are kind of just underneath the shoulders, maybe a little bit further forwards, just a smidgen further forwards. If you want to make it a bit stronger, you can cross your ankles and have your feet up. It's entirely up to you. I actually find that deeply uncomfortable on my knees, so I'm going to keep my feet down. But looking just ahead of your mat, inhale, and as you exhale, keep the elbows down to your side, close to your sides, as you lower your chest down towards the floor, and then inhale as you push up again. So you're not going the whole way down. Exhale as you come down. You're going to come down so you're kind of parallel with your bent elbows, and inhale as you come back up. Let's do that a few more times. I reckon we can do 3 more. And 1 more. And then we're going to come light all the way down, hips come to the floor, heart comes to the floor. Reach your arms back behind you, fingers pulling back towards your heels. And we're going to come into Salambhasana, so the hips are the pivot. The easier version of this, the feet stay on the floor. If you want to do the full pose, feet and heart rise, hands draw back towards heels. And you're looking just ahead of your mat. You're not looking up, you're still looking down at the ground. And breathe in here. Exhaling as you come down, bring your hands either side of your chest. Push through your hands and sit back on your heels. And then lay your arms at your side, forehead to the floor. And just notice how it feels to breathe into the back of your heart. You can use the exhale as an extra surrender. You can really drop down into the floor. And then bringing your hands either side of you, come back up to sitting. And we're going to come into a lunge sequence, but it's not too fast moving. We're going to go quite nice and slowly. Let's come up into a high plank. And pulling the tummy up in towards the spine. Lift the hips and come into a gentle down dog. You can experiment with bending and straightening your legs. Heart moving back towards thighs. A little bit of a twist from side to side. And then looking forwards, you're just going to bring your right foot forwards and drop your left knee down to the floor. And your hands are either side of that right foot. Take a few breaths here as you let your hips settle towards the earth. So you kind of use this as a landing pose. Inhale, let's take our arms up, overhead. Get some height in the torso, and then as you exhale, you're going to bring your arms down to your side. And now you're going to imagine that there is a magnet pulling your fingertips down towards the earth, but you're staying, your spine is tall, and you're staying sitting upright here. Listening out for the sound of your breath. And if the lower back's uncomfortable at all, just lift up a little higher, that takes the pressure off. So there's a really nice feeling when the hips kind of head towards that front heel. But if the lower back gets in any way agitated by that, just ease off and come up a little taller. Inhale, take your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, you're going to come down on the inside of the foot, so the foot can work its way over to the edge of the mat. And your hands are down on the inside. So sometimes this is called dragon pose, sometimes it's called lizard pose. And then for some people who are feeling super bendy, you can drop your knee out to the side, put the foot on its knife edge. Keep looking straight ahead and experiment. Maybe one elbow comes down, maybe both elbows come down. Or maybe it feels more nourishing today to stay on your hands. You can just explore where you're at today. Okay, and then bring that foot back so the foot is flat to the floor. Bring the left hand a little further forward. Reach the right hand up. And then as you exhale, bring the right hand into the inner thigh, pushing the knee away. And you might drop the left hip towards the floor. Just be sure you're not putting too much pressure here in this shoulder. I find actually having my hand a little further away allows me to create space in that shoulder. Settling for some breath. And then inhaling as you come back. Back up onto both hands. Bring that foot back into center. You're going to bend the back knee. Take the weight to your right hand, reach the left arm up, and exhale, take your hand back. And I don't think I'm going to be able to catch my foot, but some of you will be able to. If this is uncomfortable on your lower back, just keep that back leg down and take the rotation. And then bring both hands down to the floor as you glide the sitting bones back and come into a nice little runner's stretch. So we make the shape of the pose, and then we let the river of your breath and your life energy move through you. So it's not in any way static. To the eye, it might look static, but you know, because you're experiencing the pose, there is huge amounts of movement happening within the container of the pose. And then sliding that front heel, you might come into a little version of nothing like splits, but a bit of a stretch. I mean splits at 6:30 in the morning, that would be insane, right? And then coming back, we'll bring our knees together. Now for this one, this is called frog pose. I kind of love and hate it all at once. So for this one, we're going to have the knees apart. You can take your hands down to the floor. And then you're going to slide your knees further apart. So they're kind of going out, out laterally to the side. And then you're going to lower your chest down to the floor. Maybe the forehead goes to the floor, maybe the chin stays on the floor. Letting your hips open sideways. Remember to breathe. And then pressing through the hands and making your way back up again. And we're going to do that whole sequence now to the other side. So coming back to the mat, we're going to come onto all fours, a little bit of down dog. Do whatever wriggle is needed to make some space. And then looking forwards this time, it's the left leg that comes forward, right knee drops down. Taking a moment just to land here. Inhale, reaching your arms up high. Exhale, arms to your side as if they're little magnets, pulling your fingertips towards the earth. And just listening out for the sound of your breath as you practice. Inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, come to the inside of the foot walks over to the edge, coming into dragon. Perhaps the foot goes onto its knife edge, the knee drops to the side. Keep looking forwards, and you can experiment with dropping elbows down or not. Whichever version of the pose you're doing, you can hear the sound of your breath, Ujjayi breath. And coming back up onto your hands, step the right hand a little further forward. Bring the left arm up. Take the left hand to the inner thigh as you press the knee away, and perhaps the right hip drops down to the floor. As you just really need to watch that shoulder. I really find that I dump myself down into that if I'm not careful. So I have to consciously find a place where I can keep lifting my heart and there's still space in that shoulder. And then bringing the hands back down, let the hips come back to neutral. The foot can come into the center of the mat again. You're going to bend that back knee, perhaps. Inhale as you reach the right arm up, and exhale as you go back. And there's no way they're going anywhere near one another for me this morning. And then returning your hands down either side of that front foot. We glide our sitting bones back. A little runner's stretch. And there's a definite relationship here between the amount of weight you put through that front heel and the amount of lift or the sort of pull through the sitting bones that gets into your hamstrings. So the sitting bones are pulling towards the back of the mat or towards that back heel. But the front heel is very much anchoring you. And that gives you the stretch. Inhale as you come forwards. Maybe that front heel can work its way a little further forward. And there's absolutely no need to go into any particular shape here. We're not trying to hurt ourselves. And we're not applying for the Olympics in gymnastics. We're just feeling how it feels to stretch in this way. And then coming back. I'm going to take the mat with me. And we're going to come into frog again. So feet out to the side, hands down on the floor, lowering your chest down towards the ground and letting the knees move out sideways. Inhale as you come back up, bring the feet together. We're doing on time. Good. Okay, and we're going to come up and I think we'll add a pigeon pose here. How's everyone doing? Is everyone okay? So, bringing your hands to the floor, extend your right leg out behind you, and as you exhale, bring the right knee, plant it between your hands, let the foot sweep beneath you. As you wriggle the left leg a little bit further back, coming up onto your fingertips. King pigeon pose, that place where you're sitting up, and it's based on the, I can only imagine, king pigeon pose is based on the fluffing up of the feathers. They have this lovely chest, don't they? A nice healthy pigeon. And then perhaps walking your hands forwards, laying your forehead to the floor. You can always create a little nest with your arms if your forehead doesn't want to quite reach. Sometimes stacking your fists is quite nice. Inhale as you come back up. And we'll switch sides. So bring the knees together. Take the left leg back as you inhale. And as you exhale, bring the knee forward, sweep the foot beneath you, lower yourself down. Taking your time, wriggle that back foot a little further away, make space in the hips. Use your hands to support you. King pigeon pose. And then maybe walking your hands forwards, finding the place that feels good as you take a forward fold. And inhale as you come back up. Let's take our legs around, soles of feet together again, just as we did at the beginning. Knees out to the side. Folding chin to chest, crown of head down towards toes. And then coming back up. That was an audaciously loving practice this morning. Thank you so much for joining, And have a lovely day off tomorrow, a lovely day off on Monday, and we'll be back on Tuesday